Hey YouTube, Joyboy here. So today I want to talk about Kaido's 3 calamities and Jack. So I was watching a video from Sawyer7mate earlier today, and it really made something clear that I've been thinking for a while but kind of forgot, which is that Sawyer indicated that there was a bit of uncertainty with regards to where Jack actually ranks among the calamities. Now Sawyer goes on to say that he believes that Jack is not the strongest calamity, that there is at least one other calamity that is higher ranked than Jack, and this is something that I agree with, but it reminded me of the many comments and discussions surrounding Jack, and I want to perhaps put some conclusive bits of evidence together to convince anyone who may not currently believe this, that Jack is in fact the weakest calamity. And this is despite his absurd bounty. And it's hard to know exactly where to begin, but I think the best place to start is here. It seems very clear that the names of people within Kaido's crew is heavily inspired by card games. This is something that has been discussed at length, but I think it's necessary to better understand how Kaido's crew is ranked. So, 3 lower tier subordinates within Kaido's crew are people such as Scotch, Gin Rummy, and Sheepshead. All 3 of these names are in fact names of card games. And this observation becomes even more interesting when you consider that one of Kaido's calamities is known as Jack, which is, as if you know the playing card game, Jack is actually a card. In addition to this, one of Kaido's subordinates is actually Doflamingo, who goes by the alias of Joker, and the other subordinate whose name that we know of from Kaido's crew is X-Drake, and X is the Roman numeral for 10. And so you can very clearly see the parallels between Kaido's crew and card games. And so the common speculation after this point is very clear. If Jack is a calamity and he goes by the name Jack, and Kaido's crew has a card game theme, then we should expect the other 2 calamities to also have card game themes and potentially carry the names of Queen and or King. Whether this is their real names or pseudonyms, it doesn't matter. And so if you were to attempt to rank the calamities based on this information alone, it would be very clear that Jack would be the lowest ranked calamity, because in terms of cards, the Queen and or King have a higher value. But at this point, this is kind of where the theory ends, right? It can neither be proven nor disproven until the names of the actual calamities are revealed in the story. Except for, guys, this may not actually need to take place. The only person on YouTube that I know that covered this was Pharaohspace, but there was an observation made from Sandman of AP Forums, who is a famous translator within our community, and he observed something really interesting. He found a random note within one of Oda's videos showcasing his workshops, which he decided to translate, and the results of this translation were fascinating. According to Sandman, the note read, and then this is in order from top to bottom: Kaido, King, Queen, and Jack. Exactly what people had been theorizing for many months beforehand. This essentially confirms the idea that the last 2 remaining calamities occupy the rank within Kaido's crew of Queen and or King within the playing card game, thus giving them higher rank than a Jack or Jack. And so I think it's probably at this point that I'm going to get comments such as this. Jack was revealed as Kaido's quote-unquote right-hand man, and if he is in fact Kaido's right-hand man, that suggests a higher rank for Jack above any other calamity, regardless of whether or not the other calamities are called Queen and or King. And so guys, this point is honestly very easy to explain away, because I was part of the community that was discussing Jack being Kaido's right-hand man when it was initially revealed to be that way from the fan translation from, I can't remember if it was Manga Panda or Manga Stream at the time. And I entered into a lot of debates about how indicating that Jack was Kaido's right-hand man definitely meant that Jack was the strongest Calamity. However, this all took place within the span of a couple days until the official translation came out and completely debunked any of my arguments. I don't have the actual translation from the official Viz manga in front of me right now, but it was something along the lines of this translation that I got from CNET, which is commonly used for Manga Power before that's shut down, which says this: "This honored personage before you is one of the closest confidants of the Yonko Kaido-sama himself." And as you can see, this translation, along with the actual Viz translation, does not in any way imply Jack to be greater than any of the other Calamities, like when it was translated that Jack was Kaido's right-hand man. So simply put, guys, that was a mistranslation. And so with that out of the way, the only thing left for you to potentially even cling on to, with the hope that Jack is the strongest Calamity, is in fact his bounty. But beyond everything that I've said here, if we just focus on how Oda usually introduces characters, it's pretty apparent that, typically speaking, he would save the last, or the strongest, for last. I mean, he's even doing it in this arc, the Whole Cake Island arc, where the first Sweet Commander revealed, aside from Snack, who no longer holds that title, was Cracker, who as a Sweet Commander had the lowest bounty. So we can assume Cracker was probably the weakest. The next revealed was Smoothie, who had a higher bounty than Cracker, but a lower bounty than the last revealed Sweet Commander of Katakuri. But he also did this for the Alabasta arc as well, where the last to be revealed members of Baroque Works were in fact the strongest members. It was almost a countdown as we got to the very strongest members of Baroque Works. And so honestly, I believe Oda would use the same philosophy for Kaido's Calamities. The first one that we are introduced to, albeit incredibly strong and intimidating, is in fact the weakest of the enemies to come. So yeah, guys, I highly believe that Jack, the Calamity with a billion-berry bounty, is the weakest Calamity. Sorry, Roger. But yeah, guys, that's all I really want to talk about today. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you agree or disagree and why. Share your thoughts. Like the video if you liked the video. Dislike the video if you disliked the video. Subscribe if you want to be notified for my future content. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day.